What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So, last few days have been getting this thing kind of put together the way it needs to be. All the repairs that are going to be happening. But I've been getting questions on why this lifestyle is, I think, sick. It's why I think anybody should do it. So the first thing is going to be money, right? Let's talk money right up front. So when you live in a house or you are trying to buy a house, and this is situation dependent. Some people love homes, and if that's the way you love to do it, more power to you. Enjoy your house. But if you really want to make some money, this is a really good lifestyle to do because A, you're not paying rent. Okay, if you go off grid, which is super simple to do, anybody can do it. You're not paying rent. You don't have to pay. You pay $25 a year for a sticker you put on your truck that allows you to sleep on BLM land. Okay, so we've got rent anywhere between $1,000 a month to $3,000 a month. I know up here it's running for a 2-bedroom. It's like $2,300 a month, and that's absurd. Oh, plus you have to make twice your income. I'm not sure how that works. Power bill. We run completely off of solar. So we don't have a power bill. We can last up to between 5 and 6 days on the new batteries that we're going to be getting. They're going to be we're going to have 600 amp hours altogether. So that's plenty for what we're going to use. Water and sewer bill. It costs us $12 to dump our tank, which is once every maybe once a month. We can usually stretch to a month and a half. Trash. I'm paying $42 a month over here for trash. So there's more money gone when what we do is wherever we stop, we don't have big old trash bags full of trash. It's like little Walmart bags here and there. Stop at a gas station, throw it in the trash. Throw it in the trash can. Very easy to keep track of, to do. If you own a home, there's this wonderful thing called property tax. So you actually never own your home. And don't take that offensively. I know some people will, but you don't own your home. You paid it off, but you're still going to be paying property tax till you die. With this kind of lifestyle, you don't pay property tax. Your truck's paid off, your camper's paid off, you don't owe anybody anything. And like I said, we stay on a lot of BLM land, so we don't have to pay for that either. What's another good? Oh, landlords. Boy, we love landlords, right? We love them. They're the best. They're so helpful. They always come in and make sure that the house is in tip-top shape. They always make sure to come repair things on time. We all know that's BS. So that's my take. That's my take on houses. That's the reason me and the wife 3 years ago decided to choose this lifestyle. The only reason we moved, like I said in a couple of videos prior, the only reason we moved into a house this year was because this was just supposed to be the worst, most uncontrollable winter South Dakota's ever seen. Brother, it is in the 60s. So, that to me was a mistake. We should have rode out as much as we could, and then if it really got bad, there were other options. But, that's just one of those things that goes with it. Off-grid living is what we like to do. You can stay at camps. You can stay at parks. Parks are expensive. I'll get more into those here in a minute about parks. But off-grid land, you can stay on anything. So if you pull up a map you're going to see BLM land, and it's usually national forests. It's mainly national forests that you'll be staying at. You'll actually see on the map where it'll say something called dispersed camping. Anywhere where it says dispersed camping, you can stay there for up to 14 days in one spot, and then all you have to do after those 14 days is move a mile down the road, and then you stay there for another 14 days. You can't beat it. It's free. You don't pay for it. Like I said, other than that $25 sticker you got to put on your rig, you can't beat that price. The beautiful views, waking up to the woods, waking up in the mountains, parking next to a river or a creek and listening to that all night. I can't wait to get down to like North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, down there by the coast, get on some of them beaches, do it that way. Man, nobody cares how loud your truck is, bro. Plus, this day and age, children are not safe like they used to be. I remember back in the 90s, early 2000s, we used to be able to just run the town. You could go out, ride your bike into town, have a good time. You didn't have to worry about all these creeps. It's not like that anymore. Out here in the woods, they can run, play, build forts, have fake gunfights with sticks, just enjoy time out in the outdoors, less time on electronics, because electronics are a big issue that we're dealing with. It's actually a plague right now, for the younger generation, tablets and TVs. I am also guilty of that. That's why we're trying to, get away from that. So there are some preparations. Depending on what you want, a lot of people like the fifth wheel campers. A lot of people like, they got the toy hauler ones that you can put a deck on. The reason that I picked the truck camper is because it's one unit. Wherever this truck can go, the camper can go. Like I said in a couple of my other videos, a lot of this stuff that's being repaired is also going to be reinforced, because like I said, campers, and there's no way around it, they're built like crap. Unless you bought one in like 1978, it's built like crap. They're mass produced, off the shelf. Get them out, get them sold. That's why if you ever go to a RV dealership, you'll see a sign that says, "Oh, this one's worth 110 grand." And then they'll say, "Oh, but it's 30. We're going to market $30,000 below MSRP," because they need to get them sold. Because the older they get, the worse they get. And they got to get the new inventory in. So that's the main reason why we went with the truck camper. It's on the truck. It goes with us. The house is always with us. Everything we need is always with us. It doesn't matter where we need to go. Disasters is a good one. So let's say you stay in North Carolina, you stay in Florida, you stay in Louisiana, you got a hurricane coming. If you live in an RV, go, get out of there, take off. Everything you own, everything that is important to you, you have it with you. You can leave the area. You're not tarping your house and boarding your windows and hoping to whatever God you believe in that, hopefully my house is going to be okay. And hopefully, they're going to pay me my insurance on time so I can have a livable place. Tornadoes is another one. Huge deal. Get out. Move. Floods. Up here, especially, wildfires. We've had a lot of wildfires lately. Get in gear and go. Get out of the way. That's one of the other real good reasons we love having the truck camper, because it's just hop in the truck, turn it on, you're out. You can go where it's safe. But back to preparation. So a lot of these units depending on what you pay for them, depending on what you have. I have a 2018 Palomino Ultralight HS 1912. It came with 400 watt solar, came with a solar inverter or solar charger, and came with a crappy battery. Like I said, we were lucky to get those things, but those are something that you're going to want to look for. You're going to need it. You're going to need some kind of power off grid. If you're at a campsite, it's very simple. You plug in, you're good to go. You can run anything 120. It charges your batteries. You know, if you got to stay once in a while, it's fine. But the goal of this lifestyle is to stay away, to get away from the crap that we're dealing with in these big cities, crap that we're dealing with these small cities, the crime, stuff like that. So you're going to need solar panels, you're going to need a controller, and you're going to need some good lithium batteries. Like I said, we're buying 600 amp worth. That is more than enough to survive days, especially with our solar. Our solar panels charge the battery that I've got to 100% by noon. So, nighttime's the only time you're really going to be taxing these batteries. So make sure you get some decent batteries. Also, another good thing to buy is called a DC to DC charger. It gets implemented into your solar system. So basically what it does is it allows your alternator of your vehicle to charge the batteries. Smart, right? So that way you've got an alternative way to charge your batteries without just using solar. So now you're using solar and you're using your alternator. So you're damn near guaranteed to have full batteries by the time you go somewhere. So there's I don't know if you know, there's a 3-3-3 rule when it comes to RVing. The first one is 3 hours of driving. I know one of the other ones is 3 hours of darkness. So arrive 3 hours before it gets dark. For the life of me, I can't remember the other one. You can look it up on Google. But it's something really good to actually implement, because we've all driven super long distances and nobody likes that shit. So water, right? So we covered power for our rig. So water is very simple for us. We're getting a 3 to 4 stage filter. They're about $1,500. They're expensive, but I have a pump with a hose that I can run down into a creek. Okay, a nice running creek or creek, wherever you're from. Pulls the water up, goes through a UV filter, goes through 4 stages of filtration, and then he fills your tanks. I've seen some people do this. It works great. If you're scared of drinking that water is perfectly safe for showering, brushing your teeth. It's potable. But if you're super worried about drinking it, you can also go out and buy another 3-stage that you can attach to your sink, and you can use it as drinking water as well. So that's, you can also test the water too if you want to. You know, some people are really weird about germs or bacteria or cysts or living organisms. That's what these filters are designed to stop. There's also other ones out there that are way more expensive, that can give you 100% confidence, but I don't want to pay that much money. Like I said, this lifestyle is buying one thing, trying to buy one thing one time, and then saving money. Let's talk about campgrounds. Gross. Hate them. They're too compact. You'll literally you could stretch your arms out side to side. You could touch the other person's camper. Okay. You can absolutely smell for hours after somebody's dumped their tank. That's why I like to dump mine at like Flying J's and stuff like that. That's where it costs $10. You just dump your tank, you rinse your tank, you're done. You don't smell it. Nosy neighbors. Everybody wants to come around and say, hey, you know, you're not following this rule, or you're not following that rule, or hey, I just want to come over and BS for a little bit. That's fine. I like meeting people. I love talking to people. And that's something that I hope that I get to do on this channel, is meet people and talk to them. But if you see a family sitting down eating dinner outside on a picnic table, not the best time to spark up a conversation. So that's just me. And price. So last winter we stayed up at a KOA. It was $700 a month. $700 a month. Okay, just for a piece of gravel. Stayed at America's Campground down here. You gotta be really careful. So South Dakota's a tourist state. So you know, in the beginning of the year, you get away with like $500-600. Well, then I don't know if you all know about. Excuse me. I don't know if y'all know about the Sturgis Rally. Then they boost the prices, $750, $850. They can go up to $950 if they wanted to. And then as that closes down, then they start lowering the prices. Also, power and water. Some of these places will charge you for power. So on top of rent, you're paying for power again. And some of these places, depending on the climate or where you're at, they shut the water off. And they give you a little garden hose outside their little garage. And then now you gotta move your rig however many times. We got a 45-gallon tank on ours, so we can make it sparingly. Showers, sparingly. Not sparingly showers, but, you know, water on, get wet, soap up. Water on, rinse off, you're done. You can save a lot of water that way, especially doing dishes. We went out, I want to say a week ago. I went out and I cleaned my dishes in the creek. Didn't have to use any of my onboard water. I just used the creek. Another one that a lot of people are concerned about is internet. We have Starlink. It's a little more on the expensive side, but I get internet anywhere. Even if I don't have phone service, I can reach out to somebody on Messenger if I need help. Even if you don't have service, 911 still works. And then basically it boils down to a couple more contributing factors. Now with saving all of this said money, 5 to 10 grand. It's a lot of money, right? 5 to 10 grand is a decent cushion living this kind of lifestyle. Because again, your base layer, your rig, okay, repairs are going to need to be done depending on how much you're driving. You're going to need oil changes, fuel filter changes. Something might break. I know in these Power Strokes, I got a 7.3, so I'm very confident in her. But it's just nice to have that kind of money. And then also having money for the camper itself. You have to keep in mind, these things are not designed to live full time. They're not. They're designed for a weekend trip. So wear and tear is huge. And if you've ever had to hire out a RV mechanic, they will charge you like $250, $300 an hour. So learning, like I said, last week, or these last few videos, I've been in here tearing this thing apart, trying to figure it out myself. That way, if something does break, I know how to fix it. I don't have to call somebody out. But catastrophic failures, like the slide I'm sitting in right now, sometimes they come off track. Sometimes the gear breaks. You have an awning. Your awning won't retract. The motor's dead. You got to buy a motor for it. You saw the sinks. Those seals need to be replaced. All that piping needs to be redone. Definitely have insurance. Insurance is it's a no-brainer, especially if you have solar panels on your roof. That's one of the big things. Hailstorms destroy your solar panels, destroy all of your all your vents, they've got caps on them. Your AC, they've all got caps on them. It's going to destroy those. Might destroy some windows. So having insurance on it, so that way these things can get fixed. Food. So they're not the biggest refrigerators, and they're not the biggest. They're not the biggest refrigerators. They're not the biggest freezers. So basically, what we'll do with our family size is we'll buy 2 weeks worth. 2 weeks worth of groceries. So 2 weeks worth of meat, sides, whatever. You buy 2 weeks worth, and you can store that comfortably. You can also go out and buy a secondary dual zone fridge freezer if you wanted to, put it in the back seat of your truck if you needed more. But 2 weeks is good enough, especially where we boondock. We still got to get into town to take the kids to school, stuff like that, so we're not far from the market, so 2 weeks ain't bad. But like I said, I've been getting some questions. I wanted to answer some of those questions. My lease is up in September, and I absolutely cannot wait to get out of this house. This thing was built in the 1940s, and it has more issues than you could fathom. And spending $500 a month on propane is just no good. It's no good. You're not making any money living in a house. I don't care which way you swing it. Now, if you are one of those lucky ones that has a 2-3 income household, you have no kids, you're able to lock in a decent rate on a house, or you know somebody who's got a rental property, they hook you up, you might be able to make some money. But money's one of those things. It's the root of all evil, but it's the cost of living. You can't live without money, period. And like I said, we're going to be saving up for a secondary pull behind. That's 4-season and off-trail rated. So that'll be pretty cool when we can get to that point. But I just wanted to take this time to give you guys some information. Also, changed the name of the channel because I guess it's been hard to find. So now it's Norse Adventure Outdoors. So that's the name of it now. If you guys would please like, subscribe, share. I'm trying to get my channel up off the ground. I'm new to this still. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.